Greetings, everyone. We are the DVD Geeks. I'm Matthew.
I'm Harrison.
And we're back for episode number 8.
Gosh.
8 of them already. And the people have really put up with us.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Oh, they've been very receptive.
Very receptive. We appreciate all the views that we've been getting. It's just been amazing.
Yeah.
Today we're coming from beautiful Coharts.
Coharts River House.
Coharts River House in Ripley. And if you have not eaten here, I would if I was you. Good stuff in Little Ripley here. Today we're going to do some DVDs.
That's right.
DVDs.
Back to basics.
Back to the basics. Back to where we started all this in the very first place with our roots. And also want to say, before we actually get into our DVDs, where you can find us.
That's right.
If you want to watch these. Of course, you're already watching it, but you know what I mean. YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. The DVD Geeks have a Facebook page. And DVDgeeks.online is coming soon, our own website. We're moving into a new world here.
There you'll be able to purchase, t-shirts,
koozies,
cozies,
the whole 9 yards, wall murals for your house,
right.
The whole 9 yards. We're big time people, big time. So today we're going to we've each got a DVD picked out that we want to share with you and kind of talk about it. And I'm going to let Harrison start with his pick for the week.
Let's get the ball rolling here. Matt, I chose a film a couple yeof years back, 2014. Foxcatcher. Directed and produced by Bennett Miller. Kind of a up-and-coming director. Directed a couple other films. Foxcatcher, this is all-star cast here. We got Steve Carell, we've got Channing Tatum, we've got Mark Ruffalo. And what really struck me was the range of these actors, because I think oftentimes Steve Carell, we pigeonhole him, Office funny man.
Office funny man, yeah.
Channing, we think of him as the eye candy and Magic Mike.
Like
that. And Mark, I remember watching 13 Going on 30. And so I eternally will think of Mark Ruffalo as kind of the romantic, actor and all that.
And I eternally think of him as the Incredible Hulk.
Hulk. And there's two sides to Mark Ruffalo.
There's two sides to the Incredible Hulk too.
That's right. True. It's just so bizarre seeing all three of these guys in such a serious true crime drama.
Yeah.
And I think in order to give this some context, I kind of got to go back and start from where this all began.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Watched a documentary on Netflix, Team Foxcatcher. Team Foxcatcher sort of chronicles the downward spiral of this character, John DuPont, the heir and the philanthropist and heir to the DuPont family fortune and estate.
So this is a true story.
This is a true story.
Okay,
this is scarier than fiction, weirder than fiction.
Wow.
This guy, during the 1980s, John DuPont became fascinated with wrestling, U.S. wrestling, the sport, and took it upon himself to start up a wrestling complex on his farm. And it's got all these high, top-notch wrestlers like Dave Schultz and Mark Schultz. Commissioned them to come out there. And I don't want to spoil anything because this is definitely something you want to watch.
Right.
But let's just say that John DuPont doesn't have it. Things don't go well for Team Foxcatcher.
This is not happily ever after.
This is not happily ever. This is John DuPont. Has a cocaine habit and starts stockpiling military weapons. Thinks that Dave Schultz, this famous wrestler, can control the weather, and it's one of those kind of a Howard Hughes kind of situation. But it really it's so crazy to see. Steve Carell was wonderful in this film. Got an Oscar nomination. And it's just dead on John DuPont. He plays John DuPont in the film. He has a prosthetic nose going on, has the mannerisms down pat. It's dead on John DuPont. Mark Ruffalo plays Dave Schultz, this famous wrestler. If you watch this documentary, then you watch the film and contrast the character with the actual person, his actual footage, Mark Ruffalo the mannerisms are down perfect.
Wow.
Down perfect. Channing Tatum is wonderful. This is definitely a movie that's about the characters and about the actors who portray these real life stories of people.
So you would suggest maybe even watching the documentary before watching the movie?
Film. I guess, I don't want to, I think we need to talk, the director should be mentioned. There's one thing that kind of stood out to me as far as, Bennett Miller's directing, which was, there are scenes in this film which you feel like you should be hearing a soundtrack. It's a very empty kind of very eerie sort of quietness about these scenes. And
Right.
it goes along with the suspense, and it goes along with the just the reality of the story. And he just chooses not to have a soundtrack at the right time. So it makes for a very eerie, haunting film and very interesting scenes.
Sounds like one. I've heard of Foxcatcher,
Yeah.
but never, Now, do we have that?
Oh, we do.
Oh,
We have
on the
it.
shelf.
You better come check it out.
Definitely so. Anything else on that one you want to add?
No, it's definitely worth the watch. I know I was hesitant about it, but after I saw the documentaries, like, I've got to see it.
You got to go. Definitely. Well, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going the opposite end of the spectrum.
Oh.
Okay? I'm going Batman versus Superman, which is coming to DVD, I think, mid-July,
Yeah.
I believe.
It's on its way.
On its way to the library. This is a continuance of the Superman universe that was already kind of rolling, but then they reboot the whole Batman franchise in this one. And what we've got is basically DC Comics is trying to pull their universe together like Marvel has.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel is just rolling with their, with all the movies that they
All
have.
interconnected.
All interconnected, yeah. Henry Cavill plays Superman, and he does a real decent job with that. But I still can't get, this is something that has, even back when Christopher Reeves, you remember when he played Superman back in the day, I still haven't figured out how they haven't figured out that Clark Kent is Superman. They just,
You think by now that would be just
well, if I take the glasses off, do I look like someone different? I'm still me, so. It's Clark Kent.
Recognize you.
Yeah, didn't recognize me, so. But he really is kind of your stereotypical Superman that we get in all the other ones. Now, for Batman, we go to Ben Affleck. Okay, I'm not a big Ben Affleck fan. I'll just throw that out there. I really like the Christian Bale version of Batman. So much better, a lot darker, a lot. And I won't say that Affleck is horrible in this, but I won't say that he is great either. It's just kind of a mediocre, a yeoman's performance, I guess if you want to put it that way. I've never used that word on here before either.
You're right, though. Christian Bale, to me, I think Batman.
I think Batman
I love
too.
Christian Bale.
I do too. Well, I like Michael Keaton too, but that's a whole nother. So cast-wise, the cast is solid in this movie. We've got Amy Adams, a lot of rom-com type things.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg, he plays Lex Luthor. Diane Lane.
Okay.
Kevin Costner. Lawrence Fishburne. And Jeremy Irons, going way back.
All-star.
Holly Hunter's in there as well too. So there's very solid backing, in the cast and everything.
For sure.
The plot is pretty straightforward, superhero kind of thing. The public is kind of in an outrage because, and you'd have to see the Superman Man of Steel to kind of get the backstory on it. But they're kind of in an outrage because Superman kind of saved the day, but there was a massive amount of collateral damage.
Gotcha.
So it goes, and that's a theme in Captain America: Civil War, is the whole collateral damage. We saved the world, but how much destruction at what cost do we do this? So they're out to kind of prosecute Superman, and then Batman kind of takes a vendetta against Superman to try to stop him, and then it all kind of breaks loose from that point as well.
Which I like that take on things. I think that's something that was kind of long overdue, dealing with, the collateral damage.
Exactly.
It just seems like that was never a part of old school,
No, we go in and we destroy half of New York City, but we're happy that we saved the day.
Save the mayor, yeah.
We saved the mayor, and this one is a little bit deeper and darker because a lot of superhero movies kind of shy away from the superheroes actually killing people as a part of that collateral damage, and we see some of that in this. So that's we do. So that's kind of good. We get a really good dose of Wonder Woman. She's a new one. Gal Gadot is the girl who plays her. Does a really, really good job of that. I found the plot to be a little discombobulated at points. It was an hour and 15 minutes into the movie before you ever saw Batman in costume. It was.
So you're just watching Ben Affleck?
You're just watching him kind of doing him. There's Superman, but he's just kind of doing his machinations, trying to do the things that he needs to do, and it's basically your superhero fare. It's pretty straightforward as far as those things go. And like I said, they're trying to pull together the DC universe, and so we get a brief glimpse of 3 other superheroes that don't have movies yet, but have movies coming. We've got Aquaman, Jason Momoa, Khal Drogo.
Oh, you're kidding.
Game of Thrones, yes. Is playing Aquaman. And yep, that's going to be an interesting movie. Just how...
Yeah, Aquaman.
I can manipulate a whale, you know?
Yeah,
So,
Aquaman's never been real high.
he's not, you know, he's usually the guy back at the Justice League making sandwiches while the rest of them are out doing their thing.
Poor Aquaman.
Poor Aquaman. Feel sorry for him. But I think Jason Momoa will probably do something. We see they introduced the Flash, and then another DC character called Cyborg. And the three of them, their appearance in the movie lasts no more than 2 minutes total.
So they're a teaser.
They're just a teaser. Just that's all it is. In like the latest Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man makes his new reboot appearance, and he's in it for quite a long time. But these guys, you know, these are just real quick kind of things.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, if you are a superhero person, which I am, I enjoy the whole superhero thing. It's a good watch. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's not on the level of the Marvel movies yet. I mean, it's not there. Marvel just has it down. They do it so good.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun to watch. Now, I watched the uncut, unedited director's cut thing, and it was 3 hours and 10 minutes long.
Wow.
It was quite a chore to get through.
It's like some Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, it's like The Godfather +1 or something, you know. But it was very, very. So I mean, if you want to go that direction, I always say watch the director's cut and extended editions. They're always better.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7.
7.
Yeah, probably about.
A new take on that. It's neat to see superhero versus
Superhero
that kind of conflict is neat to see.
Yeah, and we do lose a superhero in this one. I won't go any further in case you haven't seen it, but there is a death that takes place. So, but I'll be quiet about that. No spoilers for the DVD Geeks. So that was mine, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And that will be at the library
Mid-July.
Mid-July. So, anything else you have for the crowd today?
We got you covered on all fronts.
All fronts. This was like I said, a quick little back to the roots episode. Going back doing some DVDs, and I can't really tell you what we're going to do next. We don't know. We haven't discussed that yet, but it won't be long. We'll be back probably in a week or so.
Still negotiating some contracts.
Still negotiating contracts.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We're the DVD Geeks signing off.